Hi, welcome to the Martial Arts Business Academy. My name is John Hine and the name of this video blog is Never Forget Anything Again. If you just started in this business, you probably haven't amassed a lot of information yet, but once you've been in the business for a few years, you're going to get massive information because you're obviously going to get really big, you're going to get really busy, and busy is the problem. When you start meeting lots of people, other instructors, venue organisers, doing conferences, shows, whatever, you're going to get a massive information. Now, some of my clients always say to me, yeah, but I don't need anything else other than what I've got. You know, I've got my iPad, I've got my iPhone, I can make on my Samsung S3, S6, yeah, probably S6. I can make notes on that, and it's true. But when you've been in this game a long time, you're going to find out that things go wrong, especially electronically. And I can tell you for sure, electronically, I used to have a PDA, electronic note taker. And something in the back of my mind for a couple of years kept saying to me, write these down physically, put these notes on paper somewhere, or at least transfer them over to your main computers. And you know, it's like you get busy, you're growing fast, you're going places, and you forget. But I managed to take half of all the contact details off my PDA. And luckily I did, because what my inner self was telling me this is going to go wrong, and it did. And half of them were lost, so it took like another couple of months trying to backtrack and find all these contact details of people that I'd met, important people I'd met. So I was trained as a coach, as a business and performance coach, and you get used to using a notebook, a bit like this one, which is A4, but you can have a small notebook, something in between, something easy to carry. And everywhere I go, I take my notebook. I have a meeting with someone, with another martial arts instructor, or a coaching client, or a venue organiser, whatever. And I take notes in this. And then when I get back to my office, I put those notes down on my computer too. And I also record it not only on my computer, I also download it to Dropbox, which is like in the cloud. So there's always redundancy, there's always lots of places you can fall back on if something goes wrong. But old school notebooks like this are a really good idea, because the very act of writing something down makes you remember. Whereas when you type it into an iPad or onto your computer, you don't always remember. Whereas with this you do. The very act of writing something down makes you remember. Your unconscious remembers that you did it and probably where you put it. Now what I do, and it's a good idea, you don't have to take my advice obviously, but what I do is when you get a new notebook, you put a label on the front and it says started on the particular date you started on. Then systematically go through, you're taking your notes, you're having your meetings, you're going to conferences, whatever you're doing, competitions, and you're making notes all the way through. Then when you've finished on the last day, write on that label, ended at, before you start your next notebook. Now, this might sound like a lot of work, but some time ago I lost someone's telephone number, someone I'd met casually, which I thought was going to be really important. But because I'd written it down, I remembered that I met this guy about 18 months before. So I simply went back through my notebook and searched manually. Only took 5 minutes, and I found his phone number. I hadn't recorded it, simply because I got really, really busy, meeting lots of people, organising lots of stuff, just like you. But I remembered it. So having a notebook like this is a very good idea. I hope you find it useful. I shall see you next time. But next time is going to be a bit different, because I meet lots of marketeers in the marketing world, as well as a lot of martial arts instructors and students. And they tell me about things which are free or low priced, and I will do the same for you. I'll pass that on to you too. So if I find a piece of software which is free or really cheap, I will tell you about it. That's all for today. I hope things are going well, you're progressing. This is John signing out. See you next week. Keep in touch. You take it easy.